What is up, YouTube? How is everybody out there doing today? I hope you guys are having a fabulous, freaking awesome day. Today, you're hopefully gonna see a golf cart do wheelies and go 35 plus miles an hour. All right, guys, there you have it. 2003 EZGO TXT 36 volt golf cart. Don't mind the Mercedes in the background, it has nothing to do with me. So if you remember back a while ago, a long while ago, actually, before I even get started, I'm gonna turn this air compressor off because I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna start talking, and this air compressor is gonna turn on and interrupt my talking. So, let's get that taken care of. Off, valve, and valve. All right, don't got to worry about that now, which is awesome. So if you remember back a whole bunch of videos ago, I ended up bringing the golf cart in here, the EZGO, and this is before I put a back seat on it too, I think, as well. There's been a lot of upgrades to this thing. I'm going to show you guys. But we ended up putting the 6-inch lift on that was powder coated by my buddy over at JS Coating. He powder coated the whole lift kit for me and everything, the blocks in the back, the front. This is an actual drop lift too. It's not a spindle lift. I like the actual lift, not spindle lifts. I ended up getting some 12-inch rims with some 23-inch freaking knobbies on it, which was really, really cool. I still got to put my side skirts on. Ended up getting a back seat, some cup holders for the old bear to go into here, riding around. Ended up getting a cool Rican mirror. I don't know if that's what I call it, a Rican mirror. I don't know if that's racist or not, but you know, that's what it is. They all put them in the Hondas. And I got a windshield too for it as well. Yeah, got a windshield, put my sticker on there. Freaking Titty City right there, guys. And so I had some fun with this thing. Me and Zach and I had some fun with this golf cart. And we ended up getting new batteries for it. And what ended up happening was the motor, which is, if you guys don't know anything about electric golf carts, the motor is right there. And we started running into a little bit of an issue with that motor. And basically that issue was, after riding around for like 40 minutes straight, the motor would get hot, like scalding hot, and it would stop. It would just stop running. We'd have to let it sit down, let it turn it off, let it cool down for a little bit before we could run it anymore. So I ended up going over and contacting my buddies at plumquick.com. Amazing people over there, guys. Amazing freaking people. And we looked at some of the different options that I could do with that golf cart and a motor upgrade. And I decided to go with a 48 volt conversion setup, which I already have the 8-volt batteries, with an AC motor controller. And they sent me, obviously, their big gigantic motor there, like 70 pounds of motor, whole bunch of other stuff, plus new battery cables and stuff of that nature as well. So we are at the time where we can now go ahead and put this all together and see if it's really going to kick ass and do what it's supposed to do. I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited as well. So the very first thing that we're going to do in this video is we are going to take this thing for a spin around Terry Hill. We're going to try to get some speedometer readings to see how fast this current setup goes. Now, I will tell you that back when it was lowered, it was doing about 17 miles an hour with a speed chip in it on a full charge. Now that it's lifted with bigger wheels and tires, I can tell you, I think it goes about 12, 13 miles an hour. It slowed down a good bit. But we're gonna take it out, and hopefully we won't get pulled over by any cops. We're gonna test it out. Okay, with my little app here, I'm actually pretty happy. I was concerned that it wouldn't show me updated speed, but it runs off of satellites, and it did already show me just literally coming out of the garage. It showed me 4 miles an hour coming out of the garage, 0.02 miles. So we're gonna go take it for a spin, and we're gonna see what our max speed is here, guys. You guys don't know anything about golf carts. They're really fun, actually. hour 15. We got 15 now, which is awesome. Alright, let's see here. Go down the road. Here we go. Nice good straightaway. Right there. 18. I don't know if you guys said 19, 20, 21, 22. Alright, wow. It looks like 22 is the fastest this thing, and it's really going all over the place. Freaking crazy. Freaking crazy. And there's a car behind me. Alright, we'll back out and go back down the road. So the speed test turned out good. I'm glad I didn't hear there's a car behind me. We're gonna head back to the shop. Hopefully, oh my god, oh, we got, whoa, whoa. We almost wrecked. We almost died. Woo. I got some Dodge freaking steering slap. Of course. What's up, guy? How you doing? All right, guys. As you can tell, we went 22 miles an hour at top speed maximum, about a half a mile to and fro. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I was actually expecting this thing to go a little slower, but this is like flat pavement. I was going kind of down a hill too, so that steering wheel shake did kind of scare me. So if this thing does end up going 30 some plus miles an hour, 35 plus miles an hour, I might have to get an alignment on it to make sure it doesn't wreck and flip over, because this steering wheel was freaking going like this, dude. Crazy. It was like I drove a Dodge or something. Like I was driving a Dodge. Freaking nuts. So there you go. Top speed so far in Terry Hill is 22 miles an hour, proven by GPS. So I guess we gotta start tearing things apart. Gotta get the batteries out, the controller out, the motor out, and start replacing everything with the new stuff. So let's get going. So we ended up bringing the golf cart up here in the front just to make it easier, and I got my tripod set up because I'm gonna be using that as well. So the very first thing that we're gonna need to do, and it's gonna make life a little bit easier with putting the motor in and running wires and stuff, is we need to get these 6-volt batteries out of here and get it ready for the 8-volt batteries. The nice thing is, with the batteries out of the way, we're gonna have a lot more room to work. It'll be comfortable and easier getting that motor out as well, which will be pretty freaking nice. I can't complain about that at all. Obviously, if I already had 8-volt batteries in here, I wouldn't touch these at all. I'd just mess around with that controller over there and be messing around with the motor from underneath. But since I have to take the batteries out and put the 8 volts in anyways, it gives me extra room to work. So let's get those guys out now. So I have all my cables disconnected. Don't forget to put your setting in tow mode, by the way, as well. Tie wrapped up my negative cables and my positive cables so I know which ones they are. And now it's time to just go ahead and pull these batteries out, which is kind of a bitch. And the reason why it's kind of a bitch is because each one of these batteries, I don't know if you guys know this, but each one of these batteries, there's 6 of them, mind you, each one weighs 63 stinking pounds for each one of these batteries. These deep cycle 6-volt and the 8-volt batteries that I'm replacing these with are heavy as hell. If you guys know anything about golf cart batteries, they are so freaking heavy, it's not even funny. But let's get them out. That's some heavy batteries. Holy smokes. Very, very heavy batteries. At the same time, we're going to clean all this up in here as well, this frame. We might even spray paint it, I don't know. I mean, we're here. Why not make it look nice, right? Maybe some rust inhibitor or something. Whew. I'm so tired. All right guys, as you can see, the frame's not too bad on this thing, but right there, which makes this very convenient for me, is the motor. The motor's right there, it's easy to get to, and like I said, obviously since I'm changing out the batteries to 8-volt batteries and not 6-volt batteries anymore, this is a much easier way for me to get to this motor to replace it with the new Plum Quick motor, and I have a lot more room to work, and I'm going to be cleaning up some of this wiring as well to make it look more presentable and getting rid of wires that I do not need anymore, obviously, and the rat's nest that's going on here. All right guys, so we got a lot of the wires disconnected and marked. I know where most of them go for the most part, plus I took pictures of everything as well. So the next step that we have to do here is we have to get rid of this old control unit, this old control box here. Curtis PMC, I don't even know what this is, but we have to get rid of this guy here, and we're going to be installing the adapter plate and this big honking green machine. This is all Bluetooth activated, which is freaking awesome, but it is for 48 volt setup, which is really nice. It's the TAC2 440 amp and 600 amp 48 to 72 volt controller, AC induction, for AC induction motors, which I have, or which I will be having. But yeah guys, let's make this quick and let's just get this thing installed in 3, 2, 1. And there you go. Now I will say for mine in particular, and I'm not going to show you this obviously, it's already bolted up and everything. This plate back here, this adapter plate, I had to drill 2 holes in my back piece here because the plate didn't quite line up with the holes that were there, which wasn't a big deal. 1/4 by 20 thread pitch, just drill 2 13 60-seconds or 64th drills, and then tap them out real fast. It was a 2-minute job, not that big of a deal, but it got the plate to fit properly and on there the way it was supposed to be. But this this control unit's looking pretty green, not gonna lie. So yeah, so I guess we'll have to get these cables out of the way and then move on to our motor back there, which shouldn't be too hard to put in, considering the fact that I have all this open space here. As you can see, I spray painted the frame a little bit. I'm going to re-spray paint it again, just put a little top coat on, just to make it look pretty and nice. So let's get that motor out. The old motor is out. We're going to clean that all up down there, make it look pretty again. Here she is, the old decrepit, whatever motor this is, I don't freaking know, advanced something or another. It is pretty heavy. 36 volt advanced DC motors, part number right there. I don't even know. This will probably go in the trash because it does not work very well anymore. Like I said before, it was freezing up on me, and it would get hot. Like this, I guess this coil in here. Oh, let's sit up here. Oh yeah, that would probably be one reason why this thing was giving me problems, guys. Looks like those splines are getting kind of beat up too. But look at all the dirt down there, guys. Look at all that. 20 plus years of dirt. 20 years, almost 20 years of dirt right there, guys. That would definitely make this not, basically make it get hot and not work anymore. And that's what it was doing. The nice thing is, once we clean all that up down there with that grease and grime and gunk and dirt, oh, Mr. Big Boy's going in, guys. Mr. 70 pounds of happiness. Now, I definitely want to show you guys just the sheer size comparison between the stock motor and this bad Mama Jamma right here. This thing is no joke. Like, it's heavy. It's gonna suck to put in. I have to sweep because I'm gonna be underneath putting it in. I wish I had another person to help me, but I don't, unfortunately. But yeah, that small little puppy to that big puppy right there. Crazy. If you guys could see, I know the camera does not really do it justice, but if you guys could see the size comparison and actually be like, holy shit, like that's a big motor, you would be like, oh smokes. Trust me, guys, you'd be acting just like this, like, holy shit, look at that motor. That's a big motor. Whew. Not gonna lie, guys, that was kind of sketchy. I wish I had somebody here to help me with that, because that thing was heavy as hell. It was kind of like lifting one of those batteries up on your back. Bench press 70 pounds. But man, oh man, there she is. She is in her final home, all bolted up and torqued down to the actual axle. Now, for anybody that does this, keep in mind, I found this out after I got the motor up in there. I'll show you. That shock is stupid close. Now, it could just be because of the fact that I have a lift kit on here, and maybe I can adjust this plate over a little bit. But I don't think that's really gonna make a difference, honestly. But you just can see it's just huge. Like, this motor is freaking huge to fit in there. Wow. Crazy, guys. Just crazy. I'm like sweating my ass off. That was nuts, man. Like, I cannot believe how big that motor is. Like, this thing is gonna kick some ass. Like, it is gonna kick some ass. So what we gotta do is we gotta wait for some parts. But we're gonna probably, I guess, use some of these wires over again. In the meantime, I'm gonna straighten out some of my underglow kit wiring, because yes, it does have an underglow kit on it. I'm gonna tie some of it up and kind of keep it out of the way. I also got, since it's going to a 48 volt system and not a 36, I can't hook up to two 6-volt batteries to make 12 volt anymore. So I had to get a nice little adapter here, one of these little, 48 to 12 volt adapters. And I got some of these guys here, which are really nice, really neat, distribution blocks to make it look really, really nice underneath. And basically I can just have one wire coming off of this guy into here, and I can tap all my 12 volt source right off of there. Very, very easy, very, very clean look. All right, so we have a lot of our wires hooked up here. This one here goes to the controller, or not the controller, but the handheld, or whatever you want to call this thing, for speed and acceleration and all that jazz. It's keyed so you can actually lock it. So you can set it to whatever you want to set it to, and then you can literally lock it. So they could, like, my kids could turn this dial all they want and it's going to stay exactly where I set it, which is really a nice safety feature. I got my kill switch, my tow run switch hooked up. This will be run towards the motor, obviously, and this will be tow, which means it won't be operational. Got everything plugged in. Still need to do the solenoid, which is going to go down there, and we still need to do our positive cables. We've got our speed sensor and our temp sensor. I think it's speed and temp. That's wired up and tied up. Tied up a little bit of my underglow kit to make that look a little bit nicer. Re-spray painted more of this to make sure that looks good and nice. Just got some wires held out of the way here, some cables wired, out of the way here until the rest of my stuff comes, which should be here for UPS soon. Once that's here, then I can put those 8-volt batteries in after I run my cables to the controller to make sure they're all tied up out of the way. Once that's done, then I can put my batteries in, which is going to be the last thing I do, is put my batteries in, and then also my converter, my 48 to 12 volt converter as well. I'm going to install that somewhere in here, probably, honestly, just put it right here. Or maybe I'll put it over there since there's so much room over there, and just run a positive wire right over to it with that's fused and everything. It's turned out really good. Can't lie. It looks a lot nicer than the old junk that was in there, to be honest, as you guys can see. But she's getting wrapped up here, guys. She is going to be one fast golf cart. It is starting to dry out outside, which is even better, because then that means I can actually take this thing out and romp on it and hopefully not kill myself. So once the cables get here and I get them hooked up, I will show you what that all looks like then. All right, guys. So my box from UPS finally came with all my cables. These are all my new battery cables, all 2-gauge stuff. The other motor cables that I needed. I've got my bracket right here for my new solenoid that is actually here as well, which is freaking awesome. It's a nice big hefty solenoid from Plum Quick. And of course we have tons of merch, nice little patch, freaking stickers. I think this sticker is going to be the one that goes on my golf cart. Sent me a whole bunch of nice business cards, more stickers here, freaking all these little pamphlet thingies. I don't know what you want to call them, but freaking awesome looking. And we also got some t-shirts, 3XL, 2 mediums. There's 2 smalls that I actually gave to my friend because I can't wear smalls, but his son can. And these two will probably go to my boy here. And unfortunately, the 3XL is a little big for me, so maybe I'll do a giveaway with this possibly, or something in the future. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Comment below, guys. So let's get this together and get this golf cart running. Alrighty, so we have our 8-volt batteries in. We have all of our cables done for the 8-volt batteries, except for this positive and this negative, which is going to be my power and ground going to the solenoid here, which we have to figure that out. I'm thinking about mounting the solenoid down here like so, right on the frame, and then my inverter, my diverter, my whatever you want to call it, from my electronics, is going to go right next to it with self-tapper screws in it. That way it's out of the way, it looks really, really neat and clean, and it's nice clean install. So let's get that all done and then go from there. All right, so we got our solenoid wired in down there. You guys can barely see it. Let me get a flashlight here. That way you guys can see what the hell I'm talking about. So the solenoid's wired in. The positive goes over to the battery, and the other non-positive, I guess you would call it, goes to the battery plus over here. The negative to the negative. I've got my charger hooked up. If I sound tired, I am. Those batteries are freaking heavy, first off. And I got the app on my phone. There's a Navitas app you got to download. Put that on your phone. That's all done. We're almost there, boys and girls. We're very close to seeing wheelies. We're very close to seeing wheelies.